In this video, we're going to discuss binary. I'd like to explain how binary works. I'd like to show you some tricks relating to binary and IP addresses. So for example, how to convert a dotted decimal IP address to a binary number and back again. Binary is a basic building block in networking, and it's really important that you understand how binary works. You'll encounter binary over and over again throughout your networking career. So in this section, we'll cover the reasons why you should be learning binary. And I've already mentioned a few good reasons. I'd like to give you an overview of binary and explain the basics of binary. And then lastly, I'd like to show you how to convert an IP address to binary and then translate it back again. This is very similar to translating from one language to another. So for example, translating English to French, but in this case, we're taking a dotted decimal IP address and converting it to a binary format and then converting it back again. So let's get started. Binary is of great importance once again in networking. You're going to encounter binary when doing IP subnetting, for example, or when configuring access lists to permit or deny certain IP addresses or certain subnets. You cannot be a good network engineer if you don't understand IP addressing and subnetting, and therefore a knowledge of binary is required as you'll be using it again and again. As an example, you may have a subnet of 10.110/24, and you may need to subnet that again to 10.110/28. Without a good understanding of binary, it'll be very difficult to do subnetting or to work with access control lists which use inverse masks. So 0.0.0.255 is the inverse of 255.255.255.0. Once again, without a fundamental understanding of binary, it'll be very difficult to do both subnetting and access lists and various other tasks in networking. All computers function by using a system of switches that can be either set on or set off. An off value is denoted as a 0 and an on value is denoted as a 1. So binary is actually a really simple language. All you have to understand is that you have two options or two values, and those values are either 0 or 1. Decimal, for instance, has values 0 to 9, but in binary it's always either 0 or 1. There are only those two values that you need to understand. I just wish that learning a foreign language was as simple as this language, which contains only two words or two values, once again 0 or 1. As an example, 128 in decimal equals 1,000,000,000. In other words, 1 followed by 7 zeros in binary, and I'm going to explain in a moment how I got to that value. But notice it's either ones or zeros. These values will be used in combinations, but essentially everything in binary boils down to either a 0 or a 1. So to help you understand binary, let's use the following analogy. Imagine a cable. That cable can either have current or not have current. So when there's current on the cable, that equates to a 1. When there's no current, that equates to 0. So a single cable can have one of two states. It can either have current or not have current. When current is applied, the value would be 1, and when no current is applied, the value would be 0. So a single cable, when there's no current, equals 0, and when there's current, it equals 1. This cable can be in one of two states. It can either have current or not have current, and that gives us two combinations or two options, either 0 or 1, meaning no current or meaning current.